Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Nicole Bonner with Thrive Chiropractic Coaching, and I have two awesome young men with me today from Contente Digital Marketing. I use these guys. These guys are freaking awesome. There's Vince Marino. Say hi, Vince. You're muted. And
Hey
there's
guys.
Daniel Tenuta. And these guys are going to give you a lot of awesome information on how to convert care plans from social media without devaluing your practice. And I think I'm so honored to be bringing this to you guys because I think that this is so important. Guys, I'm going to start you off. You guys are going to really have the floor for the next, 20 to 30 minutes, whatever you guys need. And these guys are going to help you kind of navigate the world of marketing and digital marketing. I am going to start you guys off because I guess I have a lot of questions personally. And when you're looking at clients to work with, when do you feel like somebody is ready to start digital marketing or social media marketing? And I'll give you a quick example if you don't mind. I was talking to Damian about this before the before we started this video for you guys. And I hear so often, I have friends who do digital marketing, and I have actually a good friend who started digital marketing, not with this company, by the way, totally a different company. And I'm not throwing anybody under the bus or anything like that, but he spent, I don't know, like I think it was 25 or $30,000, and he only converted like 4 people. So Damien, Vince, can you guys start off by sharing like what the heck went wrong there and what should people be prepared for when they're starting digital marketing?
Yeah, definitely. I can hop in with my idea. And it kind of like also before we were hopping on, was talking with Dr. Bonner, and she had mentioned how when she first started with us, she had an associate, and again, not to throw anyone under the bus, but um that when they started, the people were starting to come in, and the conversion rate was a little bit lower than you guys would have liked.
Right.
Then your associate went on vacation, or she was sick, or
Well,
for
I jumped in.
yeah, you jumped in. Okay, all
I
right.
jumped in because I jumped back in because, as the owner of the practice, I said, all right, are we getting like, are there bad quality leads? Which typically, as a coach, I don't believe in bad quality leads. I don't think anybody is a bad quality new patient. I don't buy into that. Oh, that's not a good quality patient. Um, but usually my associate converts at 90%. So
Mm,
when she wasn't converting at 90%, I was like, you know what? Let me jump in. Let me find out what the heck is happening here. And then just you had asked me earlier, like, how did I do it? Well, I have higher level communication skills that I learned from coaches outside of chiropractic, which is what I teach in Thrive Chiropractic Coaching, to have like a different way of communication with these people. And then they started converting. I taught my associate, and now we're like back up to 80, 90% conversions.
mm.
But the beginning was like, what the heck is happening here?
Right, right. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that first I would recommend is to have a set process and a baseline of what do you expect to convert? How many people do you expect to convert? And the thing with cold traffic, even if you have the best ad and you filter out people, it's going to be a little bit lower conversion rate because they don't have that referral source or know about you to begin with. And I think something that aligns with that as well is to know what makes you unique and different as a practice,
Mhm.
and have all of your communication aligned with that, right? So let's just say your corrective care, and that's something you really want to focus on. Then we can utilize that and put that in the marketing, and then that communication is going to be consistent all the way through. So without that, you're going to be forced to just put out a generic, like discounted marketing, message to your community, and that's not going to help anyone. It's just going to commoditize your practice. It's going to be a race to the bottom, and it's going to be. I know you don't believe in low quality leads, but it's going to result in lower quality leads because these are the people who are just looking for a deal. They can't differentiate between your practice and the one down the street. They're just looking for someone that can help them at the lowest price.
Right. You know what, Damien, too, I'll clarify a little bit about what you said because I probably shouldn't like blanketly say I don't believe in low quality leads, but you guys as the doctor have the power, and you have the power, like what Damian is saying is that you guys have the power to create high quality leads with the proper messaging. I think that's what you're saying. Is that right?
Right. Yep. Yep, and that's something that we like to do is first, like the first thing when you come on board is we're gonna ask you what's unique and different about your practice, so we can communicate that, and it's all aligned from the time that the ad goes out. You're building your brand around that uniqueness, so people know, like, okay, if I want this specific service, I know who to go to, and you're top of mind, even if they're not coming in right away. You're top of mind, and then that's consistent communication all the way through. So, like going back to your original question, I think it what do you need to have in place in order to start? Is number one, that consistent follow up, like a baseline of like, okay, this is what I can expect to convert, and then a uniqueness and differentiation that you can then communicate inside of your marketing.
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, one of the things that we work on, so I specifically help new chiropractors open practices, and I think like the fourth or the fifth module in the course is creating a niche.
Hmm.
How important do you think having a really specific niche and a really specific message is for these guys to have in place already?
I mean, it's everything. It's everything because if you don't have that in place, um, like you're going to be going after everyone, and it's the similar thing with doctors, right? It's like the generalists, the general care practitioners, they're not going to be charging the same as like a brain surgeon or even a podiatrist. Um, it's that specialty that really allows you to like differentiate. People know they're going to come to you, and yeah, I think don't start if you don't have a niche that you know you want to target, or something that's unique about you. Even it could be like your niche doesn't have to be something external. It could be something like, hey, we're corrective care. We help you improve your posture, right? So if you're looking to improve your posture, you're going to come to us.
Yeah, we hear that often from the patients that come through the funnel that you've built for us. And people say, like, I've been looking for something specifically like you guys. And when I saw you on Facebook, I knew like they're actually really not that cold leads compared to other types of funnels I've done in the past,
Mhm.
because you do have that really clear specific message and that clear specific niche. You're going to get people that are already looking for the type of work that you do.
Right.
Um, Damian, is there anybody that you guys do not take on as clients? Is there anybody that you would not take on as clients that are not ready for digital marketing? Or do you have any kind of baseline to say, like, okay, this person is going to do really well, or this, we're not going to take you on because we know this is not going to work well for you?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can
And I
I can
think
hop
Vince
in
can
here,
hop in here
Damon.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like I set up all the new accounts, and Dr. Nicole, we worked together obviously to set up your account. And one thing I just wanted to talk about that you guys were just chatting about is that it's not one size fits all with this social media marketing. Like you are unique and different, like Damien said, and we have to find why that is. And just to give you kind of an example, I was working with a doctor yesterday. We're setting up his account, and he was like, "Do you want me to just copy your voiceover word for word?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. That would be crazy because you're not the same practice as the one down the street or across the country or whatever that is." So that is something I wanted to point out is that we have a method that works or procedures that work to create these videos. Like we do rinse and repeat in the sense of like we want to work off of proven practices that have shown ROI and obviously do something very similar so that the market sees similar or so that you see similar results or your practice. But it's not like read this word for word and hopefully this generic script will help you bring in patients because it doesn't. Um, so that, I just wanted to point that out. Everything is very unique to the practices that we work with. And obviously we kind of hopping into that question you just asked, we specialize in corrective care. So we are looking for patients that are looking for long-term care. We are not looking for your type of patient that is like the joint type of patient, not to throw anyone under the bus, but we want people that are looking to make life-altering changes. And that is that correlates directly with the practices that we want to work with. So we know we can help out people or practices that are looking to offer care packages worth a certain amount of money and are looking to sign people up for, again, long term. So I would say that's really the only thing that we screen out, if you will. We don't like really the typical visit by visit type of patient, because that's not someone that's going to bring a lot of revenue into the practice. But it's, as far as like stage of the practice, we've helped people that are brand new, that have opened a practice in day one. Like I'm just setting up a practice now in Sarasota, Florida. That's they moved from Virginia, and now they're in Sarasota, and they're opening up their own practice, and we're starting them off from like brick and mortar, brand new, opening the doors, grand opening. So that's like one extreme. And then also we've helped practices that have been going for 30 years. So there's not really a stage, I would say, in the timeline where we can help or decipher. Like there's no screening out in that point of, or that aspect of it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But we won't necessarily want to partner with people that are looking to bring in a short-term acute pain-based symptom type of person. So does that make sense? Hopefully that was clear.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And that kind of opened up the door for like even more questions. My first, most of the people that are going to be watching this video are going to be either chiropractic students or some type of chiropractor that want to open their own practice, because that's our client base, right, for Thrive. And that has always been kind of like my question as well, like, is there ever a point, and you already answered it, but is there ever a point that you're too early for digital marketing? And like, I guess my next question for these people is, how much money, and I know it's probably going to be different for everybody, but how much money should they have like set aside to invest into digital marketing prior to opening their doors?
How much? Like a specific number? I mean, I don't know if you have any ideas, Vince, but I think one of the biggest things that obviously, like, if you're just starting out, nothing is guaranteed. You're gonna have a learning curve for converting care plans, and like you're in Dr. Bonner's program. Most people watching this, right? So you're already a head start on many of the doctors coming out of school who don't have the business, training in the, I don't like the word sales, but communication training.
Right.
So you're already a step ahead, but it always helps to have a little bit of a cushion. But let's just say, starting out, you're converting care plans, and you collect the care plans up front. One care plan is going to pay for a whole month of the service, right? So if you are converting the care plans, you technically don't have to have like a huge, budget set aside to start, but it is nice to have that if you aren't confident that you're going to convert those people.
Gotcha.
If I can
And
speak to that for just a second.
sure.
We offer, our company, I'm not promoting us by any means, but our company offers a guarantee. So as long as you have that initial investment, we are like guaranteeing that we'll bring you X amount of dollars, or else we'll refund the money. So that's just something, like, I think that's not saying us, but a company that has that kind of guarantee is probably what you want to jump into, solely because, like, if you're starting practice and you don't have a ton of money to spend, I guess the best way to put it, like, that is probably a situation that you want to hop into. Obviously, Dr. Bonner, I'm sure you have like your own set finances, like you should use X amount of your revenue coming in on marketing and dot, dot, dot. But that's just a guarantee is probably all what you want to hop into in the beginning if you're starting something up.
Yeah, Vince, I love that. I think it's a great idea. I think it gives them a little bit of cushion. Like the people that are specifically Thrive Chiropractic Coaching clients, they're already going to be coming into it. They're going to have their niche done. They're going to have their branding. They're going to have their marketing. They're going to have their message. They're going to have their care plans, and they're going to have all their patient systems ready to go. So the nice part is with this, guys, is that on day one, launch day, you're literally going to have new patients. And on day two, you're going to have revenue from those new patients. So like Damian said, you know, just one care plan, you're paying for the entire month of your funnel with just one care plan. So shoot, man, if you start out with like 4 or 5 new patients from your funnel on the day 1 of practice, on day 2 of practice, you're revenuing what, 15, anywhere from 15 to $20,000 if you can get prepays for all those five, or all those five people that came in, right? And so, Damian, I know you said you don't like the word sales, or one of you guys said you don't like the word. I love sales, because when you get a sale, not only does that support you and your practice, but that supports the patient. Like, the patient's
Right.
not getting well if you don't sell, right? So let's just be real and say, like we're not changing humanity if we can't sell them on our goods, right? So that's awesome. I love the idea of people opening their doors and having new patients on day 1. I did have another question, Vince. You strike the question, but then I forgot it. What was it? Oh,
I know
dang.
sometimes I can sometimes I can ramble, and I'm sure you're probably like, oh, that sounds good or whatnot. But one thing I wanted to add there was that like revenue comes in quickly. So like Dr. Bonner, I think you can attest to the fact that we launched a campaign, and then within 48 hours, you had people signing up for scheduled appointments, and probably within a week, you had a conversion, which was paying for the service. So it's not any company that claims to do digital marketing that says it's going to be like a 3-month ramp period is it's just not true if the product's good. So I would say that if someone is looking to bring in ROI as quick as possible, like you want to go with a company that's saying we'll have someone for you in a week.
Yeah. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that point up. And that was not the question that I did have for you, but yeah, that's really important. And one of the things that I thought made you guys unique and different compared to other companies that I've used in the past, and here's my question for you, is what you do something. I know you do something. I don't know what it is because I'm so not tech savvy, but I know you do something that's different. And the only thing, like, on our end, it did take us like a week or two to like get our avatar, because whatever, like, either you guys are doing it or whatever AI you're using is doing it, but you after a week or two, you are specifically getting my ideal client in these doors. So do you want to share, like, what's the secret sauce, or what can you say about that? I know you have secret sauce though.
I'll give that credit to Damian. Damian is the true computer guy, and he crafted up the algorithm to get us to the point where we're at. So that's all Damian. But there is another side of it, which is completely educating the patient on what they're getting before they actually walk in the door, and that's all done via the video. So we're sending a videographer out, we're filming content, we're showing why your practice is unique and different, and there is a secret sauce on like the tech side, if you will. Damian, you can hop into, but
I mean, yeah,
go ahead.
it wasn't like it. We didn't have it figured out day 1 either. I can tell you, like, we were, for a large chunk of time when we first started, like every other agency, like we just copied them, and like we were sending out the discounted offers, stuff like that. And it did take us kind of a while to develop it. One of the things that really triggered it was, like, it was probably 2.5, 3 years ago at this point. We got a call from 5 clients, same day, saying like, hey, look, we're getting people in the door, but they're just not our ideal clients, right? So like technically it's working, but like we're not able to convert them. They're just not looking for what we offer. So I know we love you guys, but we're gonna have to part ways. And that was kind of a wake-up call where after that we ended up saying like, hey, we gotta figure out what is the problem here. So we ended up getting in this. Our parents had a green 87 Ford RV in their driveway that was a little bit rickety. But we took it, we ended up taking it, and traveling across the country to visit the rest of our clients and figure out what was it that made the people who are actually getting good results and those people who were like the ones that were getting tire kickers in the door. Like, what was the difference between those people? So we took it from like from Florida all the way over through Texas to California, up the coast, and the whole way and then like back down through the States. And the whole way we were like visiting clients and trying to figure this out. And when we got back, there was one client that we had, Dr. Dirk Willard in Winston-Salem, who was like absolutely killing it. Like the people that came in, they were, like you said, they were in his niche. They knew that what he offered was what they wanted. And when we dug into the numbers and like compared what he was doing to everyone else, it was really two things. He had a niche, right? So he had something that he could put out there. But he was in the video himself, and like it was actually his practice there. There was no like generic content, which a lot of this stuff these days is. And he was also telling a story in his video, right? So he brought in his son and would walk through the whole adjustment, what happened in his office. And in that story, he wasn't just telling what was unique and different, he was actually showing what was unique and different about the practice. So that, like, he got like 200 patients from this one video, and it wasn't just tire kickers like looking for a deal. It was people that were like, hey, I saw what you did with your son. I'm going to come in and I want the same thing, because whatever you said there, it clicked, and I want exactly what was there. So we ended up taking this kind of story concept idea and applying it. Like we've taken ideas from everywhere, like figuring out how do we tell the best story on social media, and not just tell, but show it also. So we've spent like 2.5 million, a little bit more on ads for our clients. And the whole time we've had this question in our heads of like, how do we tell this story? So we've tested all of these different ideas and eventually came up with this strategy. It's called the C3 method, which basically grabs people's attention, tells a story about what makes your practice unique and different while showing at the same time, and then converting them into something like coming into your practice almost pre-educated, right? They're like you said, they're coming in and they're saying, hey, I saw your video, I
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah,
So
I just had a patient today. Actually, I didn't. My associate put him through, a great guy. And he literally said that. Like he literally found me because she saw him on day one and did his day two today. He converted into care today. And then he saw me, he was like, I saw your video. And he's like, I knew I was starting care with you before I even came in.
mhm. Yeah, that's the power of video. The
That's
power,
sweet. That's so
in the
sweet.
right video.
I was like, me?
So yeah, right.
You
Makes
guys
you
made me
like
look good. You guys made me look good. It's great.
yeah.
Awesome.
Um,
Well, you
yeah.
guys, well, we're kind of rounded up on that 30-minute time. Is there anything, Damian or Vince, that you guys wanted to share with the audience? Any other golden nuggets that you wanted to share with these guys?
I would just say there's too much to share. Obviously, that 30 minutes flew by way too quickly.
It did.
But we do have a worksheet with exactly like the different shots to get and how it all works. So you can kind of utilize it. You can dig in, see exactly what's going on. We also have a group that has all of our current clients in there. So you can kind of get a feel of the different things and educational tools that we have. So I think this should be on Facebook, right? So if you want access to that tool with all like the step-by-step, so like this is what you have to do,
Mm.
just comment below, and either Dr. Bonner or I or Vince can send that over to you, the invite to that group, and you can get in there for free.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because I think you were saying you have a bunch of tools for people
Yeah.
in there. Is that right? Okay, cool. All right, yeah, guys. So if you need more information or, I highly recommend at least getting into that group, comment below and we'll get you whatever information you need to move forward. You guys are awesome. Thank you for taking the time to hop on for my group and my students that I'm trying to help out here. And also thank you for helping me personally in my own personal practice. It's really made a difference in my own practice, and I love having you guys on and sharing that story. So thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Dr.
Yeah,
Bonner.
thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Can't wait to continue working.
Yeah, man. It's just the patients just keep flooding in. It's freaking amazing. All right, guys. We're gonna sign off and we will see you next week for next Wednesday's workshop. Man, we have Eddie Weller, Dr. Eddie Weller next week, and I'm not even sure. I think he's gonna blow your minds with philosophy and teach you how to apply it in your practice. So we got a good week coming up. We'll see you guys next week.